And that also taught us a lesson, and I keep telling people that unless you're a banker, don't go into banking. Unless you're a banker, and it can, especially, somebody who is an entrepreneur with a very big business, it will be almost suicidal if you try to go into banking. I will tell you when we get there. Even if I can remind me, I'll tell you the story of why somebody shouldn't be in banking, if you are a big conglomerate. Banking for a big conglomerate is really, really very, very bad. And it can bring the whole group down. So you have to be very, very careful. In the future, when you get there, if you see banking and you are an entrepreneur with a lot of business interests, don't get there, just take off. So, with this, we incorporated GIL, we transformed, this, and we decided that, okay, part of what became paramount at that time was to say, okay, fine, how do we actually utilize this cash that we had? What do we do? And I think we called the chairman, I think it was the CEO of Nigerian breweries, then not Festus, I think he came and he told us that, look, the opportunities are a lot in Nigeria, we have not even scratched the surface, blah, blah. So we listened to him and we called another guy, I don't really remember, I think it was the chairman at that time, Guinness. Of course, Alhaji at that time was MD. So rest in peace. He also came and, we were really very, very scared at that time of industry because we tried textile. At that time, we went into textile in 1989 to up there 2000, and we really suffered mainly because of the massive. At the beginning, it was Indian, attack. It was just dumping from India that made us to, lose so much money. Then the Chinese also joined. And they totally killed the industry. If you remember, the textile industry used to be the second employer of labor in Nigeria. The total people working in the textile industry was, I think, over 260,000 people, which is all lost now, really. Our own at that time, I think we had in Lagos alone 4,700 plus, and in Kano 1,800. Then we had the Januaries. But total, we had almost about 6,400 something people, and which we had to swallow the bullet and pay everybody off and shut down the business. It cost us heavy amount of money because the one that we had in Lagos was one that was set up by Chief Olo, which was Nigerian Textile Mills. So a lot of the workers that started was since 1960. Up to that for almost about 40 years. We had to pay them their pension gratuity, which the company did not really make any reserve for. So it's another big blessing that, we went through. So we decided that, okay, fine, let's try the manufacturing again, going back into industry. And we look at most people, like the Adebowales and nobody really did well in industry. Because there is that problem of power, and without power you can't do anything. So we decided that, okay, we'll still try, and we look at the mistakes they made and see, okay, how do we really make these things change. So we went into industry, and the decision was, okay, instead of going into this industry without knowing what we're not going to produce watches or whatever. No, we will just do a backward integration, meaning that what we've been trading in, we should try and produce those things that we've been trading in, and that was really what helped us. So we will take up the headache of marketing of the product, marketing, distribution, for this area that we know how to import them. When we have the goods, we know how to market them, we know how to distribute them. So the only area we have to fight for is to know how to produce good quality products, that can match with any, anywhere. So that is what we did. We started sugar, salt. We had a very big battle because when we started salt, it was one dominant company, which was Daikon. Daikon, I'm sure you must have heard Daikon salt. Daikon salt was actually the golden of companies in Nigeria before. They never ever borrowed money. They had a lot of cash. And, it's okay, but then how do we convince people not to deal with them? Even when we had the bank, I'm sure even myself, I went to Daikon maybe minimum 7-8 times to just try and have their accounts, and it took us almost 3 years before they agreed to open an account, with us. So it was a big company, but we went in there, and within 2 years we took over the entire market of salt. And I think it was that time that people thought, I don't know, dealing with us, somebody has to be ready. Who can be tough, or sometimes, to say it mild, sometimes people say we are brutal. No, nothing like that. But, it was just a marketing something, because we are not really used to making that kind of money. Because when we went into the market, I remember they were selling the salt at 360 naira. And we thought, okay, well, 220 naira is good enough. And we just said, okay, we'll sell at 220. And that was really how we took the market. So we left. We did bags, even to, pack our own goods while making our own bags. I will show you later when we get there. Then we move on from that time. After we put up all these things, by the beginning, which is the growth and the sustenance, growth, sustenance, and also the expansion. When we got to the cement, when we finished our terminal, it was just a terminal which we wanted to do just about 300,000 tons per annum, most likely maybe maximum 500,000. So we thought, okay, fine, the best thing that we'll do, there is no way in anywhere you can go and fight with Lafarge. Well, Lafarge, they are a world, they are quite big, really. We didn't even want to think about it at all. And I went to see the MD. I said, yes, it's possible to come to town. I met with the CEO of Africa when he came to Nigeria. Look, why don't you come and take over this factory? Give us 60%, you take 40% with management so that you can consolidate your account. We talked for almost about 3 months or so. They said, no, the condition is that they must take 51% majority and also management. And then we will sign an agreement that will never do cement again, this and that. Which we agreed to actually, but the only area where we had this agreement was that percentage. And you can see how really God works out things, and I said, okay, well, let them agree, but I refused to agree more than the 60% because we had almost about 13 projects at that time. And the 13 projects, the banks were very small, so you had a limit of how much, you could go and borrow from the banks. What actually stopped us from agreeing to the terms of Lafarge was because of rumors. Lagos looks big, or Nigeria looks big, but it can be small also because, within the cycle, we know all ourselves. And, at that time, some people had already started spreading the rumor that, look, Dangote, especially, our own commissioners that, look, Dangote, they are getting very tight on cash. So if we now go and sell majority shares, it means that, yes, that story is correct. So we decided not to. So we said, okay, well, Lafarge should go and try their luck. We will also come to the market and try, our luck. There's really nothing to fear, because we've reached the end of the war, and we must try our best and see what we can try and, and that's really how we business started. And I think by the third year, in terms of market share, we've already taken much higher than Lafarge. And then we went to Benue. There was a bid between ourselves and Lafarge. Even that one did not really deter us at all. We were not scared of their size. Because sometimes when you are small, you can be more efficient. And really don't get scared of anything at all. Because in life, all what you have to look at is, okay, fine. That guy you are saying that he has done well, he's a human being like you. So why can't you also do it? That's what it is. So we say, okay, well, the people running Lafarge is not a remote machine or whatever. It's not. It's not something they have done something, and we too can do it. It doesn't mean that blacks won't be able to. So we said, okay. We went there. There was an open bid which was recorded actually, and we ended up winning Benue cement. But what we didn't know is actually the power of Lafarge to cause a lot of mischief at that time. Because what they did was just to create problems with the local community, and the thing became very, very political. I think I went to the National Assembly almost about 8 or 9 times about the fight in Benue. We were declared that Dangote even trucks are not allowed to go to Benue State. So we had to stop all our business in Benue State because it was a big fight. And then we fought, to cut the story short, we fought between ourselves, the Benue State government for 46 months. For 46 months we fought with them, and we had to abandon Benue to go and start building Obajana. It was when they saw Obajana was 5 million tons, then they gave up. But by the time that they gave up, in annoyance, they had already burnt, there are 2 lines in Benin, they had already burnt down 1 line, totally, Aleki, just the main kiln that was, but they did that. But we resolved the issue. Today it is a different story, but, that's also a very long one. And then we had, we keep on expanding, we have prudent cash management. Now what I keep saying, it is even now that we are a bit generous in terms of giving dividend. But when we were private, we were not giving any dividend anywhere at all. We don't give dividends out. We always invest our cash into the business. Like the only year which we gave a dividend on Dangote Industries, which is not a listed company, a parent company, and we gave a dividend of $280 million, but that's 2009 dividend. So we still have not done the dividend of 2010, 2011. So we are always investing. Since when we started, we are not really stopped. So we kept on just going on. We improved the business process and the structure to align with the business, vision of the group. What we keep doing at that time was actually to keep calling and have just a very short strategy session with maybe sometimes KPMG, sometimes McKinsey. But I remember that time McKinsey did a short, strategic growth for the company for 5 years. And I think we used it only for 2 years because we had already exceeded that target. So we kept it by the side. We didn't really use it. And then the expansion, continued in 2003, 2000, in which we had a significant, turnover at that time. 1.6 at that time was quite, a lot. But now we're nearing almost $4 billion.